see you.
Where are you from?
Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's just typical.
When I decided to kind of rip it apart, it was
heartbreaking.
Oh, heartbreaking.
I have a Taiwanese friend. In fact, I have a couple of Taiwanese friends. I hope.
Taiwanese superstar Jay Chou look a lot like you.
Yeah, you got
really.
it. You got it.
You really want to head back out there, huh?
全宇宙最著名的飞船企业号进行5年星际探索任务，却遭受前所未有的恐怖攻击，危机重重。
But yet, no ship, no crew. How are we gonna get out of this one?
从2009年重启的星际争霸战系列，在 JJ 亚伯拉罕的指导下，写下全球超过8亿美金票房，成功让年轻影迷爱上这个屹立50年的经典。第3集浩瀚无垠 ，JJ 因为指导《星际大战：原力觉醒》退居制片，导演由台湾之光，也就是《玩命关头》系列导演林奕斌接下。第一件事就是来破旧立新这招。
Shields up, red alert.
This is where it begins, Captain. This is where the frontier pushes back.
This was Justin's idea to take them off the ship and to really, challenge them in a kind of survival story.
Well, I think the takedown of the Enterprise, was probably the biggest sequence, and it was also probably the most emotional. I grew up with that ship.
Yeah.
And I think when I decided to kind of rip it apart, it was
heartbreaking.
Oh, heartbreaking. We had to build all these sets and then just destroy it all, But it was done for a reason, and I think that when people see it, they'll see, when you're talking about deconstruction, it was a literal way of giving these characters a challenge, an obstacle to overcome.
和 JJ 喜欢用手摇摄影机镜头的拍摄风格不同，李一斌这次直接将星舰建造成能360度翻转，这可整惨大家了。
This time you need to keep balance while fighting at the same time. And any tricks to that?
Stretching.
Stretching, it's true. Taking care of your body is a big part of the physical aspect of these kinds of films. Kung fu, yoga, club bells,
Skeet shooting.
Table
tennis.
Totally.
It was difficult to keep our balance, so I think we had to sit down.
Stay seated.
Stay seated for a lot of
And
those.
belted.
And belted, yes.
We had our
Seat
seatbelts
belted,
on.
yeah.
Any trick to no dizziness?
Don't drink the night before.
That's
Maybe that was a remedy that nobody followed, but it's okay.
Jim, you look like crap. See you in the med bay for a checkup.
I'll see myself at the bar for a drink.
不过最惨的还是舰长克里斯潘，不管哪一集都被打得惨兮兮。这集当然比照搬理喽。
You are beaten up in all 3 Star Trek movies. You see, worse and worse every time. How did you prepare for all that?
Just had my father hit me.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, that's the great thing about Captain Kirk. He just gets hit and gets up again and carries the torch.
I'm pretty handy when I want to be. Well, we certainly showed them, eh, lassie?
Come with me.
常常在电影里演精通电脑机械的最佳绿叶，塞门佩格这回更负责编剧的重责大任，从剧本里就看得到他最擅长的幽默大发挥。
You guys break up? Spock, if an Earth girl says it's me, not you, it's definitely you.
Bones got a lot of dating punchlines to Spock. What you can relate to most?
Well, you have two sort of very disparate characters in Spock and Bones. You have cold, hard logic, and you have sort of heart and passion and reflex. And really those two sides, we all have those two sides to us, so it's fun that they're kind of distillations of certain aspects of our person. So I don't know, sometimes I can relate to that logic, that sort of slightly more straightforward thing, but sometimes I can shoot from the hip and be a bit more like Bones. I like to think that there has to be a bit of that in all of us, both of those things.
Simon, being one of the writers, was hugely helpful because not only did he know the world so well, Star Trek, he also is such a fan of big sort of, big adventure, movies, but he also knows the actors so well. It was this perfect kind of voice that he was sort of able to speak to not just what the characters would do and should do, but also really knew the rhythms of the actors.
You are the writer, so you know every character very well, and sometimes you will be Spock, and sometimes you will be Bone, and sometimes you will be Kirk. On set too?
No, on set it's their jobs to do it. In the writing room, you know, when Doug and I would read back sections of the dialogue, we'd sometimes be those characters because you wanted to hear it as faithfully as possible. But I would never do it in front of Zach or Chris or Carl or any of them. You know, because they are so good at doing it. You don't need to when they're around.
And was it comfortable at all to be in the small flight cockpit?
It was a photon torpedo. Now, what happens is that Scotty has no way to escape and realizes that if he gets inside essentially a missile, if he takes out the warhead payload, and we had to research what's inside those things in order to see if this was possible. Yeah, he goes down to the planet's surface. I was like this, and I had this little controller, which I was sort of as I was steering the. There was a slightly longer scene when you see Scotty take out the controls and he gets a mask and he puts it on. Yeah, it was quite uncomfortable. I had to kind of get right down inside it, and then I had a camera in my face, and I'm not claustrophobic, thankfully.
这位编剧平常在片场还自己准备躺椅，他还送这款椅子给不可能的任务好搭档阿汤哥，成功的让一颗不得闲的工作狂阿汤哥舒服地坐到睡着。
So comparing to that, your zero gravity chair must be like a paradise to you, right?
Very much so. In fact, we all had them on the set, every single cast member.
You given to them?
Yeah, well actually the production bought them for us. I had mine in Canada already, and I brought it to set one day, and Chris Pine was like, "Where did you get that from? Why have you got that?" And I told him, and so before long we all had them, and we'd all sit around in a circle and just sleep.
星战演员的好感情可不只是靠椅子哦。
And last time you pranked the set with neutron cream?
Yeah.
Benedict is so creamed up right now. Recognize that the topically applied emollient known as neutron cream does not exist. What?
How about this time? Did you do anything new?
This time we were doing a lot of dub smashes. Very big last summer, where we were just miming to things and sending them as text messages to each other. And there are hundreds of these things that are just starting to surface online, actually. And it was so much fun. There was less pranking, but more sort of just general camaraderie and fun. We were very, very up against it in terms of what we had to do and the time we had. There wasn't much time for tomfoolery, but we were away from home and we were living in Vancouver. We spent all our time with each other.
Who started the dub smashing thing on set? Really?
I forgot that I did, but I did something and I sent it over in a chat that everybody was having. There was always a conversation about like, where we're gonna go for dinner. Where are we gonna go for dinner? I'm starving. Pine is starving. Cho is starving. Carl would like to do it earlier. Everybody wants this place, whatever. And I couldn't go that day. And I sent them, I think, a dub smash. Yeah. And they all sent the conversation like, what is this? What do you? How can you do this? And then we started all.
Then it was
right?
a disease that everyone caught. It was an infectious disease.
Which is the crew favorite song? Is there any song that you like to sing most?
I don't think so. I don't know if there's a favorite. What do you think?
I think the favorites are the ones that they make up.
Oh yeah.
John is in charge of making up songs and improvising all these themes based on the actors he works with. The characters they play. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. And the situations they may find themselves in. So those tend to be the favorites.
Yeah. What else did you usually do offset? Because you were shooting abroad and you will hang out.
Zach played the banjo. That kept us relaxed. And there was, the usual stuff, reading, but it was a lot of dub smash, a lot of talking, and then a lot of discussing what we would eat.
I'm not lying.
I'm just being honest with you.
It would start at 3 going, so where are we eating? Where are we going? And then everybody's on their cell phone looking for like, did you get a reservation at this? Really? They can't book us? Or they can only do at 9? It's too late. We gotta wake up early the next day. It was so much fun to see that.
On set, we'd work hard. Off set, we would always go and eat in a restaurant in Vancouver called Chin Chin on Robson. Go there if you're in from Taiwan and you fancy something to eat. And then we'd go out, to various nightclubs and things, and we'd party. We went to a place once, and we sat at a table with a television above our heads, and the people who ran the club put Star Trek on. So we were sat there like, we're trying to be inconspicuous, and then our film's on over our head. But we had a great time. It was, these people have become my dearest friends, and I feel lucky that I get to hang out with them.
Do it! Hold on to something!